So, how long you been doing real estate for, Ted?
Been doing it for about 3 years now.
3 years, okay.
Yeah.
How you liking it?
I like it. You get to meet a lot of people. I enjoy it. It's different than any other work I've had, though.
Right. What'd you do before?
I worked in the media.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of somewhat similar, you know?
Yeah. Meeting people.
Meeting people, yeah.
For sure.
Besides word of mouth, what kind of local marketing are you doing right now?
Well, I tried doing a few mailers. Didn't work very well
Okay.
for me. At least I couldn't measure it. I just
Sure,
didn't know. And then I just do some Facebook ads.
Okay.
I pay them about $200 a month.
Okay. How often do you post on there?
Maybe once every 3 months.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So do you shop at the Save Mart over there on Lander?
I do, but I shop everywhere. I go
Okay.
to Safeway. I go to the Food Mart. I migrate wherever there's a sale. I'll go.
Yeah,
You know?
absolutely. In this
So-
economy, you got to
Yeah.
save money.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Save Mart on Lander, that's a busy store, as you know. It gets about 15,000 customers a week.
Yeah.
So I always say if you're going to advertise your business anywhere in the area, then of course online, you want to advertise at a place where a lot of people go to. So it's
Right.
not necessarily Starbucks or the movie theater; it's the grocery store.
Right.
Because everybody shops and everybody eats.
Right.
And most people will go to a store at least a couple times a week. Unless you're my wife, she's in there every other
Yeah.
day because she likes to buy fresh.
Yeah.
But most people will grab a cart and they'll push around for a half hour. So like I was saying on the phone, we do the mini billboards that we bolt right on there. What I like about it is if they go in there today's Tuesday, they walk in, they're going to see your brand and your message right there in front of them. If they go back to the store, let's say Friday, and they grab a cart, they're going to see you again. So it's that repetitiveness that you need, because unfortunately, if you do something one time, it typically doesn't work.
Right.
I think the studies show people have to see something 7 to 10 times. And what this does is it helps everything work better. So it helps your word of mouth. It
Yeah.
helps your online presence. Speaking of social media, I'll actually show you how some of my customers have actually incorporated the carts in with their social media.
Okay.
Our only challenge is on like a mailer that you could do today where you could, print up 1,000 or 10,000.
Yeah.
Or a magazine that you could go into. There's only so many shopping carts at that store.
Okay.
So once we sell all the space, we can't tell Save Mart, hey, I need 100 more carts.
Yeah.
So keep that in mind as they go through it, because as you'll see, people that get on the carts, they stay on here for a long time.
Okay.
You mind if I show you a couple things?
Yeah. No. Absolutely.
Okay.
So
So here's a few of our clients. This is a client here locally.
Okay.
Do you speak Spanish or Portuguese?
No, I don't.
Okay. So Clarissa's been a client since 2018. Really helped her business grow. She did something brilliant in that she took a picture of the ad on the cart and then she posted it on her Facebook and her Instagram, and she said, come shop with me at Save Mart, push me around. Kind of funny.
Yeah.
And she says, if anybody sees my ad while they're shopping and they take a picture of my ad and then tag me on Facebook, she says, I'll give you a $5 Starbucks card. So this is actually what happens all the time. She actually sold a house to a family, and the mom went shopping with her daughter, who's like 5 years old. And the little girl was like, that's that lady, Mommy, that's that lady. So the mom took the photo of her daughter, tagged Clarissa on Facebook, and this ended up going viral.
Brilliant.
And
just
then-
got a close up. Oh, that's
And
cool.
then because she really likes this, she's actually referred us to other clients. This is a client that's on another store. They did the free, free drink, tag us and get your free drink. So really what these ads do is it creates a buzz. The more that people see your name, the better. Lots of realtors have used the program. Another client of ours, she's down south. She says the expense seems steep at first, but now advertising them for over 4 years, I've had 3 additional stores.
Wow.
She says, I would not trade my shopping carts for any amount of internet marketing. Interesting she said that, but she says when people call or recognize you from the carts, it's always a warm and trusting interaction. And that's what it's about is, kind of breaking bread with the community. The more that they see you, the better.
Okay.
And then all kinds of clients get on here. Connie's another client. She does loans. She says, I started with 1 store and since added 2 additional stores. She says, and then she says, it helps all my other marketing such as Facebook and Google work better.
Okay.
Now, do you have a logo or do you just use Caldwell Banker's logo?
I just use my company logo. Yeah.
Caldwell Banker?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, I think I like yours better than ours. Ours is a shopping cart. What do you think?
Well, it's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So who we are, I don't actually work for Save Mart. I work for Carpetising. We're owned by Indoor Media,
Okay.
and we work with over 14,000 stores across the United States. what we do for all these stores is something brilliant. We actually provide them with the receipt tape. So when you get your receipt at the store, on the back you'll notice different coupons and stuff.
Right.
This is us, by the way, Indoor Media.
Okay.
So because we actually give them the receipt tape, they in turn allow us to do the ads on the carts. So the main advantage for you is we know how many people go shopping. So this one does about 15,000 paid receipts a week. You know, that's a lot of people. How familiar are you with the psychology of branding? Have you ever heard that term before?
Yeah, I used to work in the media, so I am quite familiar with it. Yeah.
All right. Well, if you get this right, you get lunch today. How's that sound?
Okay, sure.
All right. So if I said you name me a brand of soup.
Campbell's.
Okay. If I said you fast food hamburgers.
McDonald's.
Okay. And if I said chocolate bar.
That'd be a tie between. I'll say Hershey's.
Okay, look at that. You're a marketing genius.
Yeah, thank you.
Nice job.
Yes.
Okay. So you notice you knew the answer right away.
Yeah.
And that just shows you the power of advertising. If I see it enough times, I'm going to remember it. Why this is important is it's the same concept. I mean, these companies are trying to get the whole world while you're trying to focus here locally.
Okay.
So, like right now, I know you've been doing real estate for about 3 years. If I went up to Save Mart and I said, hey, who's a good local realtor? And I just randomly asked 100 people that question, how many people would say, hey, give Ted a call, he's really good?
Slim, there'd be any, maybe none. I'd say none.
Okay. So the way this works is, let's say you gave me 15,000 of your handsome business cards here.
Right.
And I went up to Save Mart and you said, you're hired, your job is to stand in front of Save Mart and pass out my card to every person that walks in there for the next 6 months. So every morning from 6 o'clock to 10 o'clock at night, I passed out your business card. At the end of 6 months, how many more people do you think would know who you are and what you do?
I think a considerable amount.
Yeah, so do you think that would increase your business?
I think ultimately it could.
Yeah,
I mean, how else? That's what it's people. I'm
Yeah.
after people.
Yeah, I mean, if you're in media, you know it's eyeballs, right?
Yeah.
I mean, the Super Bowl ads were $7 million for 30 seconds this year.
Right.
So the way this works is, I mean, obviously, if they go to the store today, they're not probably in the market to buy or sell a house.
Right.
But when they are, and they go on Google or they go on Zillow or they get one of your mailers in their mailbox, they're more
Yeah.
apt to act on it because they've seen your name.
Right.
Let me ask you a question. Would you say it's more important for your customers to know who you are before they do business with you or after?
Before.
Right, so that's why branding your name, as you can see, is so important. Now, there's probably a lot more rules in real estate, but in branding, there's 3 main rules. So
Right.
the first rule is to target the right people. The second rule is exposure, and the third rule is repetition. What do you think is the most important of the 3?
I think they're equally as important. I mean, how do you not, one has to work with the other?
Exactly, yeah. I mean, you could have a billboard in LA, talk about exposure, but if they, that's not your target audience, right? That's 500 miles away.
Right.
So this is a nice 6-month-long program. They'll start in May and they'll go to November.
Okay.
Do you typically grab a cart when you go shopping?
About half the time I do, yes.
Okay. So they're full color magazine quality ads.
Okay.
If you're pushing the cart, the handles of the cart are right here.
Yeah.
So this is 8 inches from my hands, but more
Okay.
important than this ad is 24 inches from my face.
Okay.
So wherever I push the cart, I'm going to see your ad. Now,
Yeah.
this space here is always reserved for the store.
Okay.
We actually do a directory of 50 of the most common items.
Okay.
Because how many times have you ever gone shopping and you couldn't find something?
No, absolutely. That's a good idea.
Yeah. So if you're shopping and you need cereal, you can look down here and see it's on aisle 4.
Right.
Okay. Why do you think, though, it's nice to have your ad next to Save Mart's ad?
Well, just the name recognition of the grocery store with mine.
Right.
You know, I mean,
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if I shop at Save Mart, I trust the store, so it's kind of like Save Mart is recommending Clarissa Acevedo as the local realtor.
Yeah.
In this case, they'd be recommending you. And we bolt these onto every single cart. You know why we do that?
no.
So if another realtor with Century 21 didn't like you, they can't remove it.
No, okay.
Right. Other ad we have is on the front. It's on the opposite side. So if I'm pushing the cart wherever I push the cart in the store, everybody else sees this ad. Because
Right.
at 6 o'clock at night, there's probably 50 to 100 people shopping. So we call this the billboard side.
Okay.
Now, of the 2 ads, not necessarily the design, because obviously your ad will look different, but would you rather have your ad here or would you rather have your ad there?
Well, ideally, I'd like to have them on both, but if I had to pick only one, I would think I would pick the one facing the shopper,
Right, right.
you know?
Yeah, I agree. Now, what I like most is that each ad costs the same because we
Okay.
don't charge by the size of the ad. We sell a percentage of the carts.
Okay.
So And the reason why you want it on both sides is when the carts are racked up in front of the store, they fold down like that.
Okay.
So what do you think that would do for your business long term if people kept seeing you day in and day out, week after week, month after month?
I really like that image. As you walk by, it's just your name, and your face in front of all those people.
Yeah, I mean, just to give you an idea how powerful these ads are, when I first started doing this 12 years ago, there was a realtor up in the Sacramento area. He had been on the carts for like 10 years. And I went out to see him to renew his ad. And he says, well, I thought I decided I'm not going to renew. And I said, well, are you mad at us? He says, no, I'm not mad. He says, I actually really like doing the carts. He says, but I don't need to advertise anymore. I got so much business. And I was sitting at his desk and he had a stack of files like this high. And he said, these are all my houses for sale for the month. So he says, yeah, I'm not going to do my Zillow. I'm not going to do my mailers. I'm not going to do my magazine. I'm not going to do the carts. But give me your card and I'll keep you on file. So I thanked him for his business and I left. Said, if you need anything, call me. Well, long story short, he calls me 3 years later.
Right.
Says, I want to go back on the carts. I said, really? He says, yeah, I'm really considering it. It's either going to be that or a billboard, and a billboard's $5,000 a month. Those highway ones.
Yeah.
So I went out to see him and I said, why all of a sudden, do you want to go back on the carts? It's been 3 years. He says, well, to this day, I still have people that think I'm on the carts because he created a memory for so long, right? He says, but now what's starting to happen is people keep asking me the same question. You know what they kept asking him?
No.
Hey, did you go out of business?
Hey, what happened to you?
Yeah, what happened to you? Out of sight, out of mind.
Right.
He says, one lady said, oh, I heard you died. He says, well, I'm still here.
It's interesting.
It's probably his competitor.
It makes sense though. If
Yeah,
you once you grow accustomed to something all the time and it's gone, you go,
Yeah.
what happened?
Yeah, it's like Coca-Cola. People say, well, why do they need to advertise? They've been around for 120 years. Well,
Right.
here's Coke and here's Pepsi. If
Yeah.
Coke stopped advertising within a few years,
Yeah.
people would think of Pepsi.
Right.
So really what these ads do for you is it creates a memory. And then the last thing I'll share with you is the cards, like we kind of talked about earlier, really helps everything else work better. Do you do any online stuff like Zillow or?
Well, I just
Google?
do the Facebook stuff I was telling you. That's it.
Okay.
You know.
So like with Facebook and Instagram, since you're already utilizing that platform, what you can do with this is you can incentivize people where if they take a picture of your ad and tag you, you give them a Starbucks card. And then of course somebody that you sold a house to 3 years ago when you first started that you may not talk to that often, what this does is it reminds them that you're still relative. And then of course if you do any mailers, again, those will work better because the card is what helps everything else work better.
Okay.
But bottom line, I mean, it doesn't have to be turned on. I don't have to go to my mailbox once a month. If I go shopping at Save Mart, I'm going to see your ad.
That's what I like about it. It's always there all day long.
Right. So overall, how do you like it?
I do like it.
Okay. So you got to say the 4 magic words.
How much is it?
Right. All right. Did you have any other questions besides how much it cost?
Not yet, but I might.
Okay. All right. Would you agree that a well-designed ad is, really important?
I absolutely do.
Okay. So one of the nice things we do is we have a creative arts department, which will design a really nice ad for you. Nice picture, your logo. Keep it simple. Do you like QR codes?
I don't mind them. Yeah.
Okay. We can put a QR code that can go to your Facebook or your website. But here's basically how we sell the ad.
Yeah.
One bus is $350 a month.
Okay.
The only challenge is you got to buy 20. So
How
20.
come you got to buy 20?
That's just their minimum buy.
All right.
20 buses. I mean, they have like 200 buses there. So 20 is the minimum buy. That's $7,000 a month.
Okay.
Now, if you run theirs for 6 months, they're going to give you 10% off, but that's still $6,300 a month times 6 months.
Out of my league.
Yeah, I know, it's crazy. I mean, if you're McDonald's, right? I mean, that's cheap.
Yeah.
Other things you can do are the transit shelters. Those are $500 a month, but you got to buy 10.
Yeah.
So that's $5,000. And look how much the ads at the airport are. If you wanted to be at the airport,
I don't think I've.
$25,000 a month. I mean, that's for big companies. This is for the small business owner like you. Okay.
All right.
So our pricing is made for the small business owner such as yourself. We sell our shopping carts in inserts of 60 each. 60 inserts represents about 25% of the shopping carts in the store. It's about 1 out of every 4 carts. You're looking at a monthly investment there of about $450. It works out to $5,400 for the year. Of course, some people want more than 25%. 120 inserts would not cost you double. 120 inserts would only be $9,000. So the more shopping carts you buy, the less money it will actually cost you. Now remember, even on 60 inserts, you're getting 30 of the front, 30 of the directory. Same thing on, 120, you would get 60 of the front, 60 of the directory. The way our payments work is we give you 3 options. If you pay it in full, we're going to waive the setup fee. That's a savings of almost $500, and you're going to end up paying $5,400 all in for the year. Our second option will give you 5% off, and that will equal to 2 payments dated 30 days apart of $28,1250 each. Or we don't do a discount on the third option. We allow you to do this in 4 payments of $1,473.75 each. Have a look at that. I'm just going to use the washroom real quick. I'll be right back. Well, certainly I understand that every business is on a budget, big, new, small, or old. If you do need it, we do have a promotion going on where we can allow you to do this in 8 payments, okay, over 8 months, dated 30 days apart, of $736.87 each.
And then what I would do on the ad is I would do your name really big. Okay, so I would do Ted Maria in block letters. I know on your card you have it in cursive, but I would do block letters.
Yeah.
Okay, with the Caldwell Banker logo here.
Okay.
Okay, and then what I would do is, now your photo you have on your card, do you have that like on a PDF or JPEG?
Yes, I got both files.
Okay, so I would do your nice picture here. And then do you have a mission statement, or like Clarissa's is called today?
It's not really a mission statement. I like to tell people, 3 tips to sell your home faster.
Oh, I like that.
You know what I mean?
Okay. 3 tips to sell your home faster. Okay. And what are the 3 tips?
Well, that's why they got to call me.
Okay.
I'm not about to put them on there.
Okay.
You know what
Secret,
I mean?
huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then what I would do is I would do, she just has a plain background, but I like a house in the background. What do you think about putting a house in the background?
Absolutely.
So I'd do a nice house in the background. I mean, obviously you don't want a mansion, but you don't want a, Cracker Box house. And then I would do your phone number big on the ad. What's your phone number?
Yeah, 786
Okay.
513 1974.
Okay. All right. And then the only thing that needs to be on here is your license number.
Right.
Do you know that's
2556.
2556. All right. And then do you like QR codes?
I do. I
Okay.
got one I can supply if I do this.
We can actually do a QR code which will go to your Facebook if you want.
Perfect.
Or your website.
Yeah.
And then what are your what colors do you like?
I love the blues and greens.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah, they're very creative, so they'll end up putting together something really creative, and then you can go back and forth at the art department
Okay.
to how you really like it, and then we're going to send you an email, approved to your email. What's the best email?
tmaria1@live.com.
tmaria1@live.com. Okay, cool. All right, and then the cost for the ad, the $6,500. Do you want to pay that in full on a Visa, MasterCard, or Discover?
Visa. I'm going to do Visa on the paid in full.
Okay, great. If you want to grab that real quick,
Yeah.
and then I'll do a little bit of paperwork.
Thanks.
Okay.